You're listening
You're listening
to another episode
of the Fresh Takes
podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to another episode of the Fresh Takes podcast. I am your favorite co-host of the 2022 season, alongside my two favorite co-hosts, Tank and Pat. I had to put that little spout in there because we are talking about the mid-season awards. And right now, I know that if we did the mid-season awards for Fresh Takes, I'd be walking away with best host.
I don't know about that.
So, how we feel about football this week. You both had a pretty interesting game, but my game was absolute garbage.
Well, let's just go ahead and put it out there that your game blew out the Cowboys and Eagles game. That was the greatest. I think we should talk about that game.
No, I think we shouldn't talk about that game ever.
I think we should.
That game
I
was
think we should
awful.
too.
That game was awful. I am starting to not want to be a Giants fan anymore.
Listen, in the Giants' defense, it was a fired head coach game. So that was, guaranteed.
Yeah, well, it also doesn't help that now Daniel Jones has tore his ACL and Tyrod's still hurt.
It doesn't hurt. I heard it would only cost $35 million to just let him go. He won't be back next year. You'll draft a quarterback high, and Daniel Jones' saga's gone.
I mean, we're still probably going to draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
We've apparently looked at 3 different quarterbacks already, so guaranteeing a new quarterback will be stepping into the New York Giants facility.
Yep.
But all right, let's just go ahead and do a quick rundown of these games, if you don't mind. We had the Thursday night game with the Titans losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I called it.
Dude, the AFC North's on a tear.
Nightmare division.
Yeah.
After that, we had the Germany game, the Chiefs beating the Dolphins 21-14. And if Tua was not being stupid in that game, the Dolphins could have came back and won that. Did you hear the reasoning for why they wanted that to be a Germany game? Apparently, they did not want Tyreek to step into Arrowhead Stadium and get booed at.
Really?
So they wanted it to be a Germany game so he didn't get all that backlash.
I mean, I can see that, but
so that's nice on the Chiefs' part. All right, after that, we have the Browns beating the Cardinals 27-0. With Deshaun Watson finally back.
Yeah.
And then we had the Commanders beating the Patriots 20-17, in which I felt like the Patriots definitely could have won that game.
I mean, I think we all do too.
I think Patriots are also definitely tanking for a quarterback.
I think they're tanking for more than a quarterback.
Probably a new head coach as well.
That's what I was thinking.
But after that, the Ravens hand the Seahawks and Pete Carroll their worst loss since Pete Carroll's first year, 37-3. Anybody else know the other team he lost very badly to?
I'm going to either go with Baltimore or New York Giants.
Yes, he lost to the Giants 40-6 in his debut. Well, his first year, not his debut.
Nice.
All right. After that, we have the Vikings and the brand new quarterback Josh Dobbs beating the Falcons 31-28. Like we said midseason, you bring Taylor Heineke in midseason, and he's a pretty decent quarterback. Kept it close that whole game.
The only thing we didn't count on is that the Dobbs effect meeting the Heineke effect. And
well, we didn't think that they would have Dobbs.
But I know they said that Heineke's going to be the starter next week.
He's definitely going to probably start the rest of the season.
Yeah.
All right. After that, the game that I thought was going to end in a tie, which if Matt Stafford played, it probably would have. Rams lose to the Packers 20-3.
I had high hopes for Rams slightly.
Yeah. After that, we had the biggest shootout of the week. The Buccaneers losing in the last 40 seconds to the Texans, 39-37.
Was that a scoregami for you?
I did not look. That actually might have been a scoregami. Let me take a
Seems like it could be.
see. Let me
That's
take
what
a
I was when he
little
just said the
peek.
score. I was like, huh.
Let me take a little quick peek here first. And
Is
while
it-
I
if
do
so,
that, how do you guys feel
call
about
that.
Stroud?
Is that a bonus point for trivia?
What'd you say about that, Pat?
I said that's a bonus point for trivia for Tank if it's the score on me.
Yeah, hopefully, please. um, believe it or not, I think Stroud's pretty good. I didn't think he was going to be uh this good. I'm not gonna lie. I really didn't think he was going to be this good in the NFL. I mean, honestly, when you look into it, a lot of times when you're coming from the college, you don't get the kind of defenses that the defenses are in the NFL. So it's a more of a struggle for you in the NFL, and that's what I honestly thought. I didn't think he was going to be this good, but he's making me open my mouth and put a foot in my mouth.
Well, Tank, that's a scoregami.
Hey, look at that.
That is
Do
the
I get my bonus
1,000.
points?
That's the 1,080th unique final score in NFL history.
Man.
Look at that.
And then after that, we had the Bears losing 17-24 to the Saints.
Yeah, Cole Kmet made his season debut.
Yeah, of course, when I decide that it's time to play Cole Kmet in fantasy. Which, ladies and gentlemen, I have finally went down in fantasy. I am no longer undefeated.
And ladies and gentlemen, I've finally got off my 4-game losing streak.
Which
Honestly,
Pat,
I was slightly rooting for you to go undefeated because you said if you were undefeated, you were going to give everybody their money back. So I was I was really starting to root for you to go all the way undefeated and win. Not even gonna lie.
So another fun thing about our fantasy, real quick. Pat finally accepted one of my trades after sending him like 12 throughout the season. And I got Rashard White from him, who put up 28 points. And he got James Cook from me, who put up a measly 8.
Well, it was the Sam Laporta.
That's what I assumed it was. But then you dropped Jonnu Smith, who put up 20 points.
Well, I had to right before to get a tight end.
Well, you could have put Murray on your pup list.
Or no, I had to put Josh Downs out. I picked up Ferguson right before.
I mean, he had a good game as well, so.
Yeah.
But all right, 4:00 games. We have the Colts beating the Panthers 27-13, which if you guys did not look, that's who I picked for our Survivor League because you guys never gave me a final answer.
I told you I was willing to play gutsy.
And if we played gutsy, we would have been out.
Who'd you pick?
I picked the Colts.
Oh, okay.
So we're still in it?
I was down between the Colts or the Ravens, and whichever one I would have picked, we would have won.
Yeah.
So we're still in it.
Yeah, we're still in it.
Is anybody else in it left?
Yeah, Bryce is still in it because he picked the Browns. So we got another week to go. But all right, the worst game of the year, we had the Raiders beating the Giants 30-6.
I don't think that's a worst game of the year.
It is if you're a Giants fan.
Well, I mean, what about the Dallas Cowboys beating them 40-0?
That's true. You've had a couple bad games.
Speaking of that, Cowboys lose to the Eagles.
Okay, I'm not. Listen, I am not. I wasn't trying to rub it in your face, Tim. I really wasn't. But I mean, you can't say that you had.
Remember Pat's last question last week?
Who has the best record?
Yeah, who still has the best record?
Still,
they do. Listen, I will admit it. When on here. There were a lot of calls that weren't called when you base it down to it. Like I felt like there was a passive interference when Stoudemire, I think that's his name, or Studebaker or whatever his name is, tight end, I can't think of it all of a sudden. He at the 1 yard line got tackled before the ball even got there, I felt. So that was passive interference. When the I felt when Dak got sacked and he was going down, the Eagles guy comes in with the shoulder pad and hits Dak in the helmet. I thought that was, roughing the passer. But, honestly, I'd rather take a loss the way we took a loss last night than how we lost to the 49ers.
Well,
The only thing that I saw that was really a missed call was the pass interference called on Gilmore when Hurts literally threw the ball out of bounds. Like, I don't know how you can call that a pass interference.
I just think as it's good to see the Eagles win like this against Dallas because these are the games, especially against Dallas. The Eagles have a history of losing. Like they can't get over the close down to the wire games against Dallas, and for them to come out of it, even though there was a lot of free things that happened to Dallas, like Dak's 4 toes out of bounds on that 2 point, and I mean, but it was great. Also, the Dallas defense held the Eagles the last couple drives. They could have sealed the game really, but didn't have a chance to. But all in all, gives them a much bigger lead in the division. So
Oh, 100% it does.
A little bit
but
more
like I said, and it's not. I don't want people to think that I'm trying to be mean to the Eagles because I'm not. Yes, do I wish they would have lost 100% as a Dallas fan? But when I got to look at it as a standpoint as a standpoint of me being a co-host on the podcast as a lover for football, it was a decent game. Now, Terrence Steele, who plays on the offensive line for Dallas, he was getting beat all night. All night he was getting beat, and that's a downfall. That's something that Dallas has to go into the next week and try to fix. There's just no ands, ifs, or buts about that one. You have to.
Well, don't worry. Next week you got the Giants and their third string quarterback. So,
are you sure he started? Might be fifth.
No, because Tommy DeVito's in there, so he'll be playing. He'll be given 4 passing attempts.
I'm pretty sure Matt Barkley's probably going to start.
Right. We'll probably call up Carson Wentz. He knows how to stop Dallas.
Colin Kaepernick?
No, Wentz knows how to stop Dallas, so Wentz will come in. We'll play him for Dallas, and that'll be it. But to round it out, the Sunday night game, the Bengals on top of the Bills, 24-18, which makes it so that the AFC North won every single game this week. That AFC North is taking it away. We might see the AFC North with all 4 teams in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I can see. Actually, right now, as it sits, there is Buffalo is 5-3. If playoffs or if the season would end right now, Buffalo is not in the playoffs with a 5-3, 5-4 record, 5-4 record. So I mean, that's kind of shocking. If the season would end, and you're a game above 500 and you're not even in the playoffs.
Well, is it if the Jets lose tonight? They are, or because what's the Jets?
They'll be 5-4, I think, if they win.
Oh, and they'll have the over of the Bills just because of beating them.
Yeah.
Right.
Jets are 4-3 because they already had their bye.
Oh, 4-3.
So if they lose, they're going to be 4-4, and Buffalo will be ahead of them.
But Miami's leading
Miami's leading. Miami's 6-3.
Yep.
And the Jets are on a 3-game winning streak. I did not even know that. Who has the biggest winning streak right now?
The Jets.
Philly.
No.
No,
Is it
the
Philly?
Vikings.
No. I'll give you a
Stop.
hint. It is an AFC team.
Where's mommy?
Is it the Bengals then? I don't know.
I don't know.
The Jaguars.
Chiefs? Is it really?
Jaguars are on a 5-game winning streak. All right,
Oh.
now we'll do the opposite. Who's got the biggest losing streak right now?
Cardinal? No. Yeah, Cardinal.
Yeah. They had that one win against Dallas, and they haven't won since.
6-game losing streak.
Yep, 6-game losing streak.
Oh.
But all right, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, we didn't go into depth of the games because we have something different and special for you guys. We are doing our mid-season awards as we just almost finished up week 9 because we have tonight still to go. You gonna say something?
I was gonna say, did you I don't know if you've by any chance have calculated the scores for our pick sheets, but I have it. But
I
for
just know that who did you pick? Did you pick Bengals or Bills?
oh my goodness, let me check.
Say, because I know that Pat, you picked Bengals.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I picked Bengals.
See, because if you pick Bengals,
yeah, I picked Bengals.
Okay, well then this week I have 9, Pat has 10, and you have 7, and we still have tonight to go. Which I think we all picked Chargers.
I picked Jets.
Oh, I picked Chargers. So there, if Jets win, you got a chance to catch up to us. Because I'm pretty sure you also picked the Chargers, Pat.
Most likely.
Yes, he did pick Chargers.
Yeah. So
Um,
yeah. And I picked a tie this week, guys. Come on.
I know, right?
Nah, just kidding. Even if I didn't do the tie, I was picking Rams. So
but I wanted to go before we get into our mid-season awards. I was going to say with the quiz show, right now we have Tim with 17 points, Pat with 10 points, and myself with 9 points.
I did not tally up the picks because I didn't think that we were going to. So if you entertain the crowd, I will tally that up right now.
Well, we can do some runner-ups. Not really like awards for the season, but some favorite moments from the season. How about you, Tank? Any big Cowboys moments?
Yeah.
Don't even say it.
What was I going to say?
Week 1.
Week 1, maybe.
Oh, that's sad. You knew exactly where I was going.
Well,
Hey, you told us to entertain the crowd, and nothing's more entertaining than.
All right, fine. My favorite moment this year has been when the Cardinals beat the Cowboys.
No, hey, that's fine.
That too.
What about you, Pat? It seems like Tank needs some time to think.
Yeah, it does.
Moment. Week 1, the Lions beating the Chiefs.
How we guessed that right?
Yeah. Like starting off the year with the Chiefs losing. It's great to see after that heartbreak last year.
What about has your guys' because we're going to talk about our Super Bowl prediction, but has your guys' playoff predictions changed? Who's making wild card and stuff? I'm not putting the Giants or the Vikings in there anymore.
Yeah, I know. I mean, those were both my wild cards, and yeah, they are not in my wild cards.
Yeah,
honestly,
I think that's the biggest.
One of my biggest things I want to talk about, I guess. I don't want to say biggest thing I want to talk about, but moment, the Broncos beating the Chiefs.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a big one. That was a shocker out of nowhere type one.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to think. Was there any blockbuster trades that were like shocking?
Oh yeah, we can talk about the trades. Chase Young going to the already
49ers?
stacked 49ers defense, Montez Sweat going to the Bears and then signing a 4-year extension.
And I'm pretty
After
sure
he said he was waiting to see how the Bears team looked before signing.
Well, you offer someone that much money.
I mean, but not only that wasn't it was it Miami who was trying to trade for Sweat?
I don't know. I know that
And then-
the Jets called asking if Devontae Adams was available. And apparently 5 teams called the Panthers for Brian Burns, but they said they weren't getting rid of him.
They did that last year, too.
After they've said the last 3 years they want to get rid of Brian Burns. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, the results are in. With a whopping 77, Hank. And then coming in second place with an 81, we got the picks man himself, Pat.
We're pretty close,
Well,
Tank. Just don't worry
No,
about this black
this is the
number
thing.
that's red.
I beat you last year, and you're going to beat me this year. It's my second year in a row.
And the guy who was in last place last year, who lost by like 12 picks to you guys, Tim at an 87.
Oh, I'm only 6 behind you?
Yeah. And I mean, we still got 9
I
more
thought it
weeks.
was- I thought it was
So
unreachable.
you got 8. I'm at 77. You're at 87.
Yeah, I'm ahead of you by 10 and ahead of Pat by 6.
There's no way I'm going to be able to catch up to you.
Hey, two games a week. 2 games a week, Tank. You still got a long season.
There's no way.
Long season.
No way.